Back again with another bug gun review. So this one is the brand new Canik Mete MC9. It says it right on there on the slide, so I shouldn't forget, even though I might. Took this out to an ASI match yesterday. Had a good match, had a good time with a good squad. But yeah, let's take a look at a few more stages, and we'll come back and we'll show you the gun in the box for IDPA Bug Division, and then we will show a few more stages and finish it up with pros and cons. All right, so here we are with the gun in the box. As you can see, it fits in the box. There's not a lot of room in there. The high bore axis of this gun kind of prevents you from getting really a full grip on it. I can get pretty much all of it on there. I get a little bit more with the 365 build that I've got going. This magazine is the 12-round magazine. It's got a little bit of difference here. So what's good about this gun is that the magazines from across the line will fit into the gun. So it's the only micro compact, to my knowledge, where the full-size guns, everything that they make, the magazines will fit into this gun. So rather than use the pinky extension base plate, I've got just a 15-round magazine base plate on there. But I think if I were going to keep this gun, you could trim this down and get it on there and get a little bit more pinky grip on there, which I generally think is a good thing. All right, let's see how much this guy weighs. Coming in at 20.7 ounces. Not the heaviest gun in the world, but it'll do. Let's check out a few more stages, and we'll come back with the pros and cons. All right, so those are the stages. Not a lot to say there. They're pretty straightforward. It was a good match for ASI. Had a great squad. Had a good time. Got a little sunburn on my shoulders, but I'll be all right. So the Canik. To begin with the pros, it's a fully ambidextrous gun. So I've been looking for that in a micro compact, mainly for a carry gun. Like I can do without it for Bug Division, I think, with the new rules in IDPA. But for a carry gun, like I definitely like to have the ambidextrous slide release, because most of the guns I shoot in like the bigger divisions, ESP, CCP, have got them. So I'd like to have my carry gun have it. And this one does. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that manufacturers are looking at that as a thing to do. And like I said before, all the magazines from the 15-round, the 12 rounds that will come with these 15-round ones, that I have a few left over from a different gun I was trying. And so yeah, they all fit in this, which is pretty cool. It'd be the same as if like a 365 accepted 320 mags, and that's a pretty cool thing. So I guess that means that all Canik mags are stack and a half. I don't know. They're pretty thin. Moving on, pros. The trigger is definitely the best out of the box, at least in the micro compact line, at least the ones that I've tried. Between the Ruger and the 365, and I can't even remember all the other ones I've shot, but this is definitely the best trigger out of the box. It's comparable to the 365 M Carbo kit that I put in my 365, but this is out of the box, so you got to give it the edge on that one. Like I said before, all the mags fit in this. The subcompact, I can't remember all the names of these guns. So the subcompact Canik, the compact Canik, the full size, and then I'm sure they have, I'm not sure, but I think they have 21-round mags, but they all fit into this gun. So that's pretty awesome that the mag backwards compatibility is there for all of these. It's red dot ready. So another aspect of the red dot capability, or is that this sight is not so far forward that it's hanging over the edge of where the red dot would be. So if you want to take on and off a dot, it's not a pain in the butt. I think that's pretty common for most guns, but when I put on aftermarket sights, I usually put on the Dawson's, and it covers up the edge of that plate. So you'd have to take the rear sight off to put on a dot, which kind of sucks. The sights are usable for what we've got going here. This is a blacked out rear and a white dot front sight. I was hoping or thinking that it would be a night sight, but it's not on the front. And so shooting it was a little bit awkward for me because I'm used to seeing a red fiber optic front. And the reason I do that is because if you're shooting a red dot or a red fiber optic front, you're always looking for that little red dot. It's not the same, but you're always looking for that when watching the red. So seeing this, it was a little bit jarring or just different to see the white of the front sight jumping around when I'm used to seeing the red. Last thing, like we saw before, it fits the box for a bug division. I think that you could definitely trim that base plate down and make it, get a little bit more purchase on the gun while you're shooting, compared to the way I had it set up with the other magazine base plate. But either way, it fits the box. It's good to go for bug division. I'm not sure if it would be something I would run because getting into the cons, the bore axis is really high. So even running it with the 108 or 105 power factor ammo that I've got for bug and CCP, it was still like I could notice a difference between shooting something like this and shooting something like the 365. It's over there in the safe. The 365 that I've got going for that. So it's just different. The bore axis on the 365 is shorter, and so yeah, you just don't notice it as much. Okay, so probably the most significant con for this thing was the mag release. So I switched the mag release from being on this side for a righty to this side for me, a lefty. And when you say, "Oh, I switched it," it makes it sound like it's just something that you can do, and you can because I did it. But it made me want to die. It was by far the worst parts building guns thing I've ever done. So I've built Glocks from P80s and Glocks from the ground up, built SIGs from the ground up, just buying parts and putting everything together in FCUs. This and 365s to a lesser extent, but I've worked on a lot of 365s. This is by far the worst process for changing a mag catch or any parts exchange working on any gun. By far the worst process I've ever encountered. So there's like a spring, so the mag catch just goes into one side or the other, and then there's a spring that's kind of like like a V sort of, and you're supposed to, it goes into this channel and then into the inserts of the holes in the actual mag release, and you're supposed to squeeze it together and push it in down this channel, but you can't. Like you can't do it. I don't know how. I mean, they've got people in Turkey that are setting these things up. They've got to have some sort of process for doing this because I tried it for 3 hours and I couldn't do it. Like I was incapable of doing it. So I took it to Brent over at Rivers Edge Arms and I was like, I don't know what you can do that I can't do, but please help me. And so we sat there for like another 2 hours trying to just fit this thing in here, and it would be like almost in, and then as soon as you try to push it that last bit away, it would just pop out. And so it was such a pain in the ass. So finally we zip tied this V-shaped spring together. It's not a real V, it's wonky, but essentially that's what it is. And we zip tied it so that we could get it into the thing, and we thought there's no way that we can cut this zip tie out and then pull it out without the spring pulling out. But that's exactly what we did, and it worked. So if you're a right-handed guy, this isn't going to matter to you. If you're a left-handed guy, good luck, Godspeed, whatever. I'll pray for you. Back to what I was talking about. The mag release is just terrible. So Canik, I don't know, man. You got to figure something out there. I even tagged them in a post on, I don't know, something. It was like, why would you do this to us? But anyway, it's not impossible, but it's pretty close. So yeah. Another con, the white dot front sight. Like, I don't know. I get it. They're probably going for a carry gun here, and But even if you're going for a carry gun thing, like why not put a front or a front sight? Why not put a night sight on the front sight? I don't know. Seems pretty intuitive to me to be that today in this day and age, it's either going to be a fiber optic front or a night sight at least front. So the white dot was weird. If I were going to keep the gun, I think I would definitely put a fiber optic front on it. But that's all you'd have to do. So the rear is good enough. It's blacked out. That's what I want. So if you change that to a fiber optic front, and on their website, it doesn't say whether or not it would fit on this gun, but they sell a fiber optic front for Canics. Canik does for like $20. So if that fits, it's sort of $20, quick fix if you can have somebody to do it. So, or you can do it if you know how. I can't do it. The mag catch. This is sort of one. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with these small guns is that it only happened once yesterday, but I'm trying to get up as high as I can on here because of the high bore access. And so this finger had kind of, my middle finger had kind of plugged the gap where the mag release pushes into. And so I was standing there trying to reload, but I couldn't because I couldn't hit the button. It was my finger on the other side was preventing it from pushing and releasing the mag. So because I have to release the grip to be able to do it, you can kind of stop it from happening. So like I said, it only happened once yesterday, so it's not that big deal. It's not the end of the world, but in a match where time is the thing, is your score, anything that slows you down sucks. So that's a possibility happening. The last thing I have on here was black would be cooler. I'm not into this tan color, but this is what I could get. So I had to sneak this in before the all the bans and all that shit started happening. So yeah, but that's about it for this thing. For a carry gun, I think this would be a fine option. For a bug gun, it's middle of the road. I like that it's ambidextrous or fully ambidextrous, but there are guns that are better out there that are fully ambidextrous. Probably the Glock 26, as much as it pains me to say that, is better in bug division than this. The HK probably too, which also has a high bore access. But so I was kind of thinking that this might be like the one for bug division, but if SIG will get off their asses and make a ambidextrous 365, I don't know why that's not a thing, but it's not. That would be the one. So what do we got going on? So the Washington State Championship is July 22nd, 23rd. There's still slots available, probably like, 25, 30 slots available for people that want to come. The prize table is going to be awesome. So come for that, if nothing else. Yeah, if you have the time and the means, check out www.dz214, where you can sign or donate to the charity partners that we sponsor to the sports. Yeah, and that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.